This prayer that is from who is the Veda Surya Narayana, Veda Parayana, Vipranarayana, Sriman Narayana. So all these things are there endowed, the amshas are there in him, and therefore that is what is being emphasized in Aruna Prashna. Because Surya Bhagavan is very kind. Nobody can challenge or oversee him because Agni, energy plus kindness. That is, he gives us strength, plus he gives you the enthusiasm. He gives us the mind also, because Ravi is also called Surya Bhagavan, is a Karaka, especially in astrology. They all people talk about Ravi. Who is that Ravi? He has taken the Simha Rasi, and he is the overlord of that, and he is a Grahadhipati, Nakshatradhipati, Sadhipati. And so, like that, it is being done in a very nice manner. So, that is the conclusion that this Aruna Prashna is going to tell us, that because we are almost reaching the prayer part of the Aruna Prashna, and we are going into next the Homa, the Yaga connected to Surya Bhagavan. Aruna Ketukamadnim Chinvanaha. See, Aruna Ketuka Agni will come up. And before that, we have almost the penultimate point, that we have seen Samvatsarova Apamayatanam. Om Yo Nakshatranam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Apo Vai Nakshatranam Ayatanavan Bhavati Ya Evam Veda Yopamayatnam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Parjanyo Va Apamayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Yah Parjanyasyayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Apo Vai Parjanyasyayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Yopamayatnam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati. So then we come to the ultimate one, where it is said Samvatsaro Vapamayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Yat Samvatsarasyayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Apo Vai Samvatsarasyayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Ya Evam Veda Sapushpavan Prajavan Pasuman Bhavati. So that is the refrain which we have got to remember whenever we consider the value, dignity, importance, and indispensability of the water in the universe. Therefore, and all that water also is being sent to earth or to all lokas periodically. For example, Varsha Kalam, now we are running Sravana Bhadrapada Masas are marked 60 days, are marked to be the rainy season. And afterwards, we get into after Bhadrapadam, we go into Ashveja Masa and Kartik Masa. It is again a clear sky comparatively. But it is also said, Rutuna Nujyamana Vinanada Abhidhava. The Aruna Prashna said that one Rutu gives rise for the entry of another rise, another Rutu. And Rutu's cycle will automatically go on. So Rutuhu, and all these things are there. So Samvatsarova Apamayatanam means the kalam. What is Samvatsara? It is a kalam. What is a kala? Kala is the mana. Mana is the measure. So we have the measure in nature, and we are getting the rain. So therefore, one will be Pushpavan and Prajavan. Apo vai Samvatsarasya ayatanam. Samvatsara is a full year. Apamayatam is the placement of water. So in this particular expression, we are summarily being introduced to the idea that apam pushpam defined to be Agni, Vayu, Surya, and all that. Who are the flowers of the water? Agni, Vayu. So when you go to the Atharva Surya Upanishad or Ganapati Upanishad, there it is said that Ganapati or Surya are all one. They're all names only different, but they are the sources of energy, and energy they identified themselves. Therefore, summarily we are told that Apam Pushpam is Agni, Vayu, and Surya. So a knowledge of all these put together adds to the fame of the knower. Fame is the Kirti, that is Pushpavan, Prajavan, Pashuman. So Prajavan, Pashuman, these are the two things which we have got to work out when we are live upon this earth. Prajavan means you should be a source for the society, contributor for society, and you should be a parent, and so on. And Pashuman, and you must be also wealthy enough to be able to perform sacrifices, because Pashu is important for sacrifice. And Pashu's milk and then ghee is the food for all gods. And therefore, we can keep on increasing our own kirti, or our stay being remembered by all by this kind of wealth. Prajavan, Pashuman. And moreover, in Purusha Suktam, Sri Suktam, we are advised Dhanam Agnir, Dhanam Vayur, Dhanam Suryo, Dhanam Vasuhu, Dhanam Indro, etc. Varunam, Dhanamastude. So Dhanam is not the rupee note, paper notes or metal coins, but it is Agni, Vayu, Surya. That's exactly is the indication of this Upanishad. See, and moreover, all Upanishads are philosophical. They don't promote only Yagnam. Yagna is the tool. Yagnena Yagnamaya Deva. Yagna is tool. Yagna is the goal. In between, we have so much of work to go by. And that's what we understand. Next, we are coming to the most important conclusive status, the importance of the water, with which mentioning of the water importance, the entire Aruna Prashna, the Prathama Prashna, the Daitarya Aranyaka would begin, because Aranyakas are those who are philosophical treatises to be studied, to be followed when people retire to forest. That's what we call Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha Ashrama, where all the rigorous rituals are being given, are being done and written up, and you have to adopt to some light rituals. But ritual is the alpha, omega of life, and sine qua non of life, because yagnena, if at all people want to become Mahimavan or Kirtivan or Punyavan, Yagna. That's why gods became Mahimavantaha only because of the sacrifice that they did on the ground. And on the other hand, Ayurveda gives a wonderful explanation why there is a speck in the moon. Chandra Kalanka Yakandra, that black spot. People may call it as a deer or a pig or something like that. That's all imagination. But Yajurveda tells us that that is the portion of land taken from the bhula, from earth, deposited by the gods in case the Rakshasas completely overpower and occupy the whole earth, not permitting any yajna to take place, because dharma is important. Dharmanasha is impossible. If dharmanasha is there, means finished. There is no world at all. ಸೊ ಆ ಧರ್ಮ ರಕ್ಷಣಾ ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರು ಅಂದರೆ ದೇವತೆಗಳು, ಗುಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಸಾಧುಸ್, ಋಷೀಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಸೊ ಆನ್. ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ, ದಿ ಗಾಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಚಂದ್ರಮಂಡಲ. Whatever portion of land they deposited On that, they do yajna, they become powerful, and again they try to win over the earth and drive away the Rakshasas. It's a wonderful process. It's something like, see, if the two ex and present rulers were to be at fight, the people suffer a lot because all administration, everything will be paralyzed, and concentration and focus will be different. So that kind of situation happened from time to time. The king and ministers at war, at a difference of opinion, and that condition is not very now also. In one of the states, we observe how ex and present rulers are trying to vie each other and make the entire thing completely commotion. So one has got to have sham, and all that. Here, I just read, Yopsunavam pratishthitam Veda pratyeva tishtati ime vai lokaha apsu pratisthitaha tadeshabhyanukta. Shivlingaya, repeat it. Yopsunavam
Yopsunavam
pratishthitam Veda
pratyeva tishtati ime vai loka apsu pratisthitaah
Deshabhyanukta. So here, you notice that Tadesha api Tat Esha Abhi Anu Ukta. Look at the splitting of the samasa. So many ideas are there in this, but Tat Esha, that, this, Abhi, all over, Anu, followed in utterance. This is what is the truth established, not debated or challenged. And this kind of statement you find in other Upanishads also. For example, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said, Tadesha Bhyukta Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. So, Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam, etc. So, ivella nodta idre, you understand, these are all the truths which are followed, established all over the time, and you cannot change them. So here also, the same way, after all, Aranyaka and Upanishad are not much distanced. Therefore they call Aranyaka and Upanishad. Aranyaka are the beginnings of the philosophy. Brahmanas, after Samhita, they are miscellaneous. They contain matter connected to many more things, not one aspect. That's why a separate study of the Brahmanas will be of great use and power and knowledge application. We have study of Aitareya Brahmana and Satabada Brahmana as a part of thesis submitted. For example, my own guru student, Dr. N.J. student, that is Danade in Pune, long years back. He studied Sattva Brahmana and submitted thesis of the Sattva Brahmana, got his PhD. And recently also, we have in our YouTube a talk on Sattva Brahmana, certain aspects by Aparna, and that is also running in the YouTube channel. So that means Brahmanas are vast, and it is containing all sorts of information connected to the Veda, understanding of the Veda, interpretation of Veda mantras, application of the Veda mantras, the reasons why the applications are there, all about mythology. Well, the subject matter covered in the Brahmanas is very, very huge. But in Aranyakas, focus has taken place. In Sutras, again, focus. We have got Sauta Sutras, Gruhya Sutras, and Dharma Sutras, Sulba Sutras, trigonometry, and so on. So, there some kind of focus is being done. And so, the entire Vedic literature is gold for us at all times. Therefore, here, here when you say that, Yo apsunavam pratishthitam Veda, the waters are the support for the entire regions of the universe. And but upon the water, what could be stable? A boat, Nava. It can float. And a boat is always of the shape of a fish. No article would float on the water unless it is of the shape of a fish. Nobody can fly, nothing can fly unless it is of the shape of a falcon or a bird. And of course, land forces and the air forces and naval forces. You understand? Even the water traveling is called naval forces. So navigation, naval English ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇವ ನಾವಂ ವೇದ. So the boat is floating on the waters, remains unstable while moving, but all these lokas remain steady upon the waters, is the concept. Sime vai lokaha apsu pratisthitaha. All these lokas are dependent upon the water. Therefore, in the very beginning, you are being told that apamapamapa sarva asmad ita amutaha. ನೋಡಿದ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೇರ್ ಎವರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟರ್. Even our body also contains 70% of water. So the water is there everywhere to hold, to sustain, to energize and all that. That's why it's called as pratishtha. Pratishthavan bhavati. So pratishtha, pucham pratishtha, always the extension of life, living, activity, energy is pucha, tail. You know that Anjaneya, Hanuman, or monkeys in general, they love their tail more than anything else. Therefore, when Hanuman looked at Mandodari, mistook her to be Sita Devi, felt so happy, he discovered her, Ramapatni. Then he went on, Chuchumba Pucham. Valmiki Maharshi says, number of times Hanuman kissed his tail, jumped up the pillar, climbed up the pillar and climbed down the pillar repeatedly is a matter of happiness, swabhava, to the monkey. Koti swabhava. So, ಈ ಲೋಕಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ. ನೋ ಲೋಕ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ವಾಟರ್. And we have creation legends. Most of them begin that water is that. When you go to, for example, Aitareya Upanishad belonging to Rigveda, and there Aitareya Maharshi tells that there was Mahatma, a great Atma, and water was there. And looking at completely water, he felt like creating the lokas and trying to organize life and activity and people. So ataraha namge water is important. And moreover, Veda eva pratitishthati. That's what we have to say. Pratitishthati and it continues to be stabilized. And so the boat floating on the waters remains sometimes unstable while moving, but all these lokas remain steady upon the water. So Water helps for kirti. All these lokas get stable upon the water, but not the boat upon the water. So boat is mobile, water is stable. Therefore, the following mantra, that is Tesha, that is Tesha Bhyanukta, will give you the truth that is being practiced. And moreover, we understand the navigation application, boat building, boat factory, making factory, all that is very well known. Even in Durga Suktam, you see that Ammavaru is likened to be a boat, and her work is to make people cross over the samsara. Tam Agnivarnam tapasa jvalantim Vairochanim karma phaleshu jushtam Durgam Devim Sharanamaham Prapadye. Complement is Sutara Sitara Se Namaha. She is a Tarasa. But what is her job? Sutarasi. She will simply make us cross over the difficulties. Water is the difficulty. So that's why in English they say, oh, he's in water somewhere. ನೀರಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ, ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಬೋಟ್ ಮೇಲಿದ್ರೆ ಸುಖ. So the boat floats remaining on the water. So all the lokas which are like boat remain prosperous, being dependent upon the water. So the comparison here is poetic. The worlds are safe like a boat safe on the waters. So water ಎಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಇರಲಿ, ಅದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. The floods will come and go, but the cities, town and civilization or culture remains. Here in the passages, the format is that so defined that only the causing sources differently are included while the rest terminology remains same. And therefore, this is the kind of style that you find in the Aranyaka. And now we come to the another extension of the idea that water boat relationship, very beautiful, and our life also. Water is difficulty, birth, death, mrutva, punarmrutyuma pajyante, adyamana swakarma bihi. Same Aruna Prashna tells us. So we cannot remain the same. We have to undergo the change. So that is being said here. Apagum rasamudayagum san surye shukragum samabhrutam apagum rasasya yo rasah tambo grunhami uttamamiti ime vai lokaha apagum rasah te amushminnaditye samabhruta. Please read. Jyoti?
इमे वै लोका अप्सु प्रतिष्ठिताः तदेक्ष्याभ्यानूक्ता अपागं रसमुदयगं सन् सूर्ये शुक्रगं समाभृतम् अपागं रसस्य यो रसः तं वो गृह्णा उच्यमिति इमे वै लोका अपागं रसः ते मुष्मिन्नादिच्ये samabhruta.
Yeah, this is a lot of science indicated. You are very, because where comes the brilliance? Into Surya. And the light is from water, as we are seeing hydroelectric projects, the power being used for number of purposes, through bulb, through microwave, through refrigerator, through running the trains, etc. So all that power is there coming from water. Therefore, rasam, udayam, apam, sun. When the water, in the essence of water rose up, there was a brilliance. And where went that brilliance? It went into the sun. That essence of water, which is best, that is only being accepted here. Samabhrutam, Sukragum Surye Samabhrutam. All that is there. So that's why it is established that all worlds are but the essence, water essence, or the essence of water. And there is another theory of creation found in the other Upanishads, that when the vast amount of water is there, Paramatma has put his essence, a drop, the semen, into the water, and that water semen turned into a golden egg. That's what we have got the Hiranyagarbha Sukta, where it is said, Hiranyagarbha Samavartatagre Bhutasya Jata Patireka Sadadhara Prithivim Jam Utemam ತಸ್ಮೈ ದೇವಾಯ ಹವಿಷಾ ವಿಧೇಮ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು 8 ಮಂತ್ರಗಳು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ನು ವೇದದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಋಗ್ವೇದ. Actually in Rigveda there are about 4 mantras, 4 suktas which talk about the creation. Hiranyagarbha Sukta, then Purusha Sukta, Nasadiya Sukta, and another one. So Hiranya, the Lakshmi Sri Sukta. So these kind of suktas will tell you that water has been the source, and Paramatma is one who has given the egg, because any and everything comes out from the egg only. Hiranyagarbha, the garbha is that. So whatever that brilliance came up, and that is installed. So in sun, and therefore we have faced also whatever water available in the universe is all vested in Surya Bhagavan. So Surya Bhagavan gives, in order to sustain the worlds that have been created, heat is also installed in sun, so that the sustenance of the worlds are provided. So without sun, there is no heat, there is no water, there is no life at all. Therefore, in fact, it is said that the sun's rays are moisturous upon the earth. So all people are living, though there is a difference of temperature in different places geographically. People are happy in Rajasthan, people are happy in Uttarakhand, people are happy in Dehradun, people are happy in Andhra Pradesh and Madras. You see the weather differences there, hot, cold, colder, etc. So, because everywhere sun is there and there is the moisture, and in the moisturous places, we are able to tolerate the sunshine. Atapa, you'll get. So that's why Surye Sukragam Samabhrutam, and Apagum Rasasya Yaharasaha. Who is Surya? Surya is nothing but the essence of all waters. And Apagum Rasasya Yorasaha. And so what I'm doing, Tambo Grunhami Uttamam Iti. So whenever it is said Iti, it's a quotation. It's a long flown thought. Earlier also available. The same is also taken here as a part of quotation. So that's why it's really interesting that Surya and Ime Vailoka Tambo Grunhami Uttamamiti. That only I am going to accept it, thinking that it is the best one. So water is best. As you know, in our practical life, no doctor says don't drink water. Even if you want to have the blood test or sugar test for diabetics, they advise you may drink some water and come for blood sugar test. If not, you drink, you will not be able to get that blood out. So I know, I've seen So sometimes they ask, you drink water? Suppose if they are not able to draw the blood out, then they say, you drink some water, wait some time, then they take out, the blood comes out for testing. So under all conditions, water is best, uttamam. So grunhami, so among all things in the world, which is the best one? Water. If water is not drunk at all, there is a problem of dehydration and death. Therefore, tambo grunhami uttamamite. And ultimately, the conclusion is lokaha ime, why indeed, apagum rasaha. Indeed, all of them are that. So, te amushpinna aditye samabhrutaha. So, emphatically, again and again, to avoid the doubt or suspicion or rather ambiguity and investigation, our rishis have confirmedly telling that Aditya is the source who receives all that in him. But what is in him, he doesn't keep it with him only, but rather he will send that down to the earth. Durbhiksham deva lokesho manuna mudakangruhe etavacha pravadanti. You understand? So, after any season, if you go to Sargaloka and ask for a cup of water, all gods will say, sorry, the water here is being sent to down the earth. You can go to human beings' houses because they store the water and they can give you. Like that, here, the sun, the life cannot be normal without the interference of sun, and therefore, and otherwise also possible. Though sun is not visible, but his influence will be there all over. Something like in areas, geographically, where 6 months dark, 6 months sun. But while dark, still sun's influence will be there. And therefore, sun is the overall agent to provide you life, whether or not he is there on the horizon. And therefore, Apayeva sasarja adau, there was another Upanishad tells you, adau apayeva sasarja, water, when creation to begin, water was created at first. And then all things have come into being. Idamba agra salila asa is another statement. So agre, when there was Sunyam, salila asa, there was water created. So there are many more supporting statements to say that truth that water is the first of all the creation, and that is being enunciated, established, rather explained in many Upanishads. How many Upanishads are there? No, number of Upanishads are there. But for our convenience, we say only 10 Upanishads, then 52 Upanishads, 108 Upanishads. No, this number is only our convenience, because Upanishads are several. For example, Rigveda, we have defined Upanishads. In Yajurveda, we have defined Upanishads number. In Samaveda, again same. But in respect of Atharva Veda, the number of Upanishads is not at all definite, because everything is Atharva Veda. What is Atharva? Atharva means pain. Atharva means removal of pain. That is happiness. So Atharva Veda is something that will promote happiness of people upon the world. So therefore, another point is that the great God or soul dropped his virya in the waters. The semen became solidified into a golden egg. From that golden egg, all these regions are born. All these gods are born. All the humans and animals and all people are born. And later on, there was also along with that food and hunger and thirst also born. But in order to satisfy the hunger and thirst, Paramatma created the food from water only. From water only food came. You can't eat rice raw. Raw rice you can't eat. The rice is coming out from water, grows up in water, matures in water, the rice, and again gets cooked in water and becomes a food to you. And again in the water in the body, it gets digested and it is energy. So look at the course of life of rice, dhanyam. So most of dhanyam like that. That's why we say dhana dhanya samruddhirastu is the asirvada that there should be samruddhi. And also, even in the Durga Saptasati, at the 13th chapter, Ammavaru Durga Parameswari Pratyakshamayindi, Ayi cheptundi, Ayya, Swaratha and Suman, Vaisya and Raja, Sumedha and Saratha. To them, Ammavaru tells that, see, in case of drought, see, at that time, I become Shakambari, I provide vegetables and other things, and see that the life upon the earth is sustained. So, to maintain, to sustain, and to promote the life on earth and other lokas is the responsibility of God. Therefore, we should be having that kind of theism, theosophical knowledge. God is any and everywhere. Indu galadu andu ledani. And he, if at all any difficulty comes, he only comes up and then resolves that, and solution he provides and make people happy. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So in order to protect the words which have come out of the waters as essence, there was brilliance endowed in sun, owing to the sun's light, the sun's heat, the world is very, very fine. Soma is the best of all drinks. Having obtained it, the Yajamana and people can hope to attain heaven. In Viduraniti, just 1 hour back, I took class on Viduraniti. In the 34th chapter, Vidura says the importance of the Somarasa. Somarasa, the Tirtham. Nobody should collect money for vending Tirtham. సో తీర్థం కానీ ప్రసాదం కానీ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు డబ్బులు అడిగి తీసుకోకూడదు. ఒక చేతిలో డబ్బు ఒక చేయి చాచడము, ఇంకో చేతిలో ప్రసాదం పెట్టడము, some purohit do it. Very, very sinful, and it is equal to that of killing a Brahmin. Brahmahatyam va. So it is a Brahmahatya dosha. Vidura says that Brahmahatya dosha comes up to those people who sell somarasa, who sell tirtham, and so on. So that's why, owing to the sun, everything is free, available in the nature, and Soma is the best of all drinks. Having obtained it, Yajamana and people can hope to attain heaven. And it's also said that in this particular passage, all the lokas depend on water for their existence. That's why te amushpinnaditye samabhrataha lokaha apagum rasaha, and all the lokas depend upon the water. And so Aruna Prashna is something which will describe scientifically the characteristics of the water. Everybody studies in chemistry. Whoever wants to study chemistry, they have to study about the water. And they say in chemistry, water is a colorless, odorless liquid and tasteless. So, but still, we do like that. And adadmele, now we get into a different section, Aruna Prashna, and philosophical literature will follow from here. And before that, getting knowledge, we must prepare the Vedi, Uttara Vedi, and dig the earth deep, how much it is, length also, and then fill it up with the water and all that information you are getting in this next expression, which is that See, Januda, Chapandi Janudagrim Uttaravedim Khatva.
Janudagnim Uttaravedim Khatva. Janudagnim Uttaravedim Khatva.
Apam Purayitva Gulpadagnam.
Apam Purayitva Gulpadagnam. Apam Purayitva Gulpadagnam.
Pushkara Parnaihi Pushkara Dandaihi.
Pushkaraparnaihi Pushkaradandaihi Pushkaraparnaihi Pushkaradandaihi
Pushkaraischa Saggum Sthirya.
Pushkaraischa Saggusthirya Pushkaraischa Saggusthirya
Tasmin Vihayase.
Tasmin Vihayase
Agnim Praniya.
Agnim Praniya
Upasamadhaya.
Upasamadhaya.
So this is the preamble for furtherance of the Aranyaka, where we have to also do some yajnas. Then please repeat. Brahmavadino vadanti kasmat praniteyam agnischiyate sa praniteyam apsu apsakhyam chiyate asau bhavane apya bhuvanepyanahitagnireta tamabhita etabhishtakaha upadadhati. So this is the section which we are going to have a different meaning and knowledge get about it. See, look here. And before that, let us understand Uttaravedin Khatva. Please dig the Uttaravedi, the northern altar, up to a depth of Janudagnim. Janu is the knee. So you have to dig the earth, Uttaravedi, of the depth of knee deep. So your knee deep, you should dig. Then what you do? Apam Purayitva Gulpadagnam. Then you have to fill that Uttaravedi with water up to Gulpa andre ankle. So ankle deep water you have to put into that Vedi. Then what you should do? Pushkara Parnaihi Pushkara Dandaihi Pushkaraischa Samsthirya. Then you have to cover it up with over them, over the lotus leaves, lotus stalks, and lotuses. Pushkara is the lotus. So Pushkara Parnaihi, Parna is the leaf. Danda is the stalks. Pushkara is the flower. So these three things you have to bring and then cover that over the water. Some Samsthirya, you have to spread them there upon the water. And then Tasmin Vihayase Agnim Praniya Upasamadhaya. Then in the space, the fire is deposited and then the revering rites are to be conducted. These are the things. Why should we do it? Then the reason could be those people who want to do sun sacrifice or yajna to please the sun god, they have to observe this discipline. Because Aruna Ketuka Magnim Chinvanaha. Aruna Ketuka. Ketuka andre Kiranagalu. Aruna andre Surya Bhagavan. So Kiranagalu andre Arthayanu, that is the Anugraha. The rays of the sun are symbolically, I think, taken to be the grace, the power, the life stitching. That's why who is the Surya Bhagavan? We have already come across a beautiful mantra in nutshell talking about Surya. Hagum Sasyuchishatu. Gnapka Markoli. Hagum sasyuchishatu vasuhu antarikshasatu hota vedishatu atitihi duronasatu atithirduronasatu.
Nusadzva sadjuta sadvyoma sadabja godha rutaja adrija bruhat.
Brutam, yeah, bruhat. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಪೂರ್ತಿ. ಹಗುಂ ಸಸ್ಯುಷ ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳು.
Agum sashuchi sadrujya sudajna sadabja goja ruchada adrija rutam bruhato.
Yeah. So here you have already been introduced who is the Surya Bhagavan, such that you can please Surya Bhagavan through the form of Agni, I mean Yajna. So for that Yajna to please, what is the preamble or what is the preliminary requirement means that is being provided here. And in this mantra, we come to know who is the Surya Bhagavan. Hamsaha Suryaha. What is Hamsa? Hamso vai Sadashivaha. Means that Surya Bhagavan is there causing happiness, equality, equanimity, presence of mind, health, prosperity, everything. Hamsaha means pure, not because ನೀರಕ್ಷೀರ ವಿಭಾಗೇತು ಹಂಸೋ ಹಂಸಃ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. See, when you want to separate water from the milk, only Hamsa has the test skill. And therefore, Hamsa, Humsaha, Suchishatu, and Vedishatu, understand, Shatu means sitting, and Hoth. So he is there and everywhere. Hagum Vasu Antarikshasatu, Hota Vedishatu, Atitihi Duronasatu, Nushadvaraha, Sadruta, Sadyoma, Sadyo, Sadobja, Goja, Rutaja, Adrija, Ratam Bruhatu. Hange, illi, whoever wants to do sacrifice addressed to sun god, they have to observe this formula. That is, one has to dig this. Then Gulpa. So Janu and Gulpa are the measures. Manavan bhavati samvatsaro vapa mayatanam. Avaga Manavan bhavati. Mana and the mathematics, measuring. So Janu and Gulpa. Dagni means deep, depth. Amele apam purayitva. You have to fill up with water and make all these lotus stuff shine over all that. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ preparation ಆದಮೇಲೆ now there is the interference of the Brahmavadins. You know, there are people who are trying to investigate into the Veda, into the Brahma, into the knowledge of the Veda, and all these things are there. So that's why Brahmavadino vadanti ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಾದರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Now there is a questioning here. Kasmat pranitaha Agnihi chiyate. Now on, the style of Aruna Prashna text will change. And there is more and more assertion, there is more and more guidance in the later portion of that. So if you talk about the style of Aruna Prashna, there is this kind of division, and which we will see from our next class. And we stop here. Om Swasti.
Om Swasti. Om Sahana Bhavatu. Sahano Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu. श्रीवेदपुरुषाशीर्वादोऽस्तु ॐ तत्सतु
Thank you.